Okay, the most important question is always, can you hear me? And also, it's really, really dark. I think we're gonna live in the dark. I think we're gonna have to live in the dark. That's just how it be with the setup that we have right now. So I thought it would be fun since, everybody is stuck at home to do a just live chit chat hangout of I know you're always first of what I'm reading, all that kind of stuff. I posted on Instagram a little while ago about a Q&A and some of the questions. And one of the questions that came up a lot was, what are you reading? What are you doing? And also there's another question about, are you going to live stream more? And so I guess that kind of answers that question. Maybe sometimes if people are into it. So, but I thought the best thing to do would be to go through some comics. And some of you may be asking, is that a mattress in the back? And yes, it is. You can't get, oh my gosh, focus. You can't get rid of things right now. So things kind of pile up. But we found that there are people who are still collecting stuff. So hooray. So we're going to get rid of that. Oh, thanks. No effort randomness. I love talking about Booster Gold. Actually, one of the comics I have beside me, because what I'm going to do is talk about some of the stuff that I'm currently rereading since I'm in quarantine, is, just talk about some of my fave characters. So actually, let me I have a pile. So I've been building a comic book room nook upstairs. And so that means that the comics are finally getting a shelf. They don't just have to live on the floor or in boxes anymore. So I can actually physically show them to you guys. I've only got a handful here tonight just so that we can take a look and you guys can tell me what you're all reading and what you're all doing and what you're all up to too. I hope you're all staying safe and keeping well and all of that good stuff. Don't mind all of the mess. It's pretty real. But you're now at my workstation because now we're working from home. So how many drawers is it? How many drawers do they occupy? I think I'm gonna have to do that for my singles. I don't have too many singles. So they are literally moving on up, D'Angelo, because they are going to the attic. So they are moving all the way at the top. How big are the drawers if they occupy 6 drawers? Are we talking like a dresser or like an armoire? Like how big is it? I need to know. So I guess I'll start going through some of the stuff that I have here. Whew. So one of the things I have is I actually have the Justice League International. Booster's not on this cover, but he's a big part of this team, and it's one of the books that made me like him even more than I already did. So this is it's fun. It's really lighthearted, even though some really dark stuff happens, but it's a really lighthearted take on the Justice League and you get a really eclectic group. As you can see, you have Mr. Miracle, you have Black Canary, you have Martian Manhunter and his obsession with Oreos, trademark chocos. You have Blue Beetle, you have Batman for a bit. Hold on, I gotta say it right. Shazam, no longer Captain Marvel. Guy Gardner, although I think there are some Guy Gardner stories in here that it's not okay. Let's just say I don't know what my husband just did, but it got brighter and I appreciate that. I guess the one where he takes Ice on a date to the porn movie and then tells her to work off her thigh cheese. It's just not a very good showing. It's not a good showing. It's not a good look. So I have most of these. This is one of those comics where I have you have issues 1, 2, 4, and And 6, that's me with this series. And now there is an omnibus. So I'll probably just get that and then I'll just have to live with that forever. But what I've been thinking about doing, and y'all should tell me what you think of it. But because all the donation places are closed currently, and so I was thinking about doing some giveaways of, because I have a lot of like issue 1s that I now have in omnibus form, and I'm like, some people who are just getting into comics might really appreciate some of those. So I think it might be fun to give them a good home, you know, a good home. No, I agree. He will always be Captain Marvel to me. He was Captain Marvel first before anybody else. So what else do I have here? I don't know how I feel about Major Disaster. I feel like whenever I say the name, I just get stuck there, you know? Major Disaster. Oh, you guys never answered. Like, how have you been keeping and all of that stuff? How is life treating you? Let me just go here. Da-da-da-da. And boom. There we go. No, yeah, Batman punched Guy Gardner. No one needs to punch Billy. Billy's so sweet. What games are you playing? I haven't had time to play any games. I'm very, very grateful to still be working, but it's been very difficult working from home with a 3-year-old. So it's been a lot of balance, a lot of balancing act. Hello, Artemis. How are you? All right. So one of the other ones I always talk about Astro City, and this is one where I'm always debating doing an episode on it or not for all of you. And it is Astro City Confession. It's the arc that introduces you to the Confessor and his sidekick, Altar Boy. Don't laugh. It's much better than it sounds. So I'll give you a teaser. The Confessor is a vampire priest superhero, and it's amazing. It's amazing. This is a really cool arc, but as you can see, it's very long. There's a lot. So I'm like, you guys would be there for a long time. It's nice to show them on camera too, just to be like, they're real, they exist. Like, I have them. Hello, Sheena. For all of you who are here from Shippers, this Friday we're going to do a Fic Rec Friday, so get excited because there's lots of fics to rec. And I also have been scripting some Shipper vids as well. They're largely comic based because comics are just like, I'm obsessed right now. It's my life. They're like my happy place. So that's definitely going to be a thing. Let me see. Ben, it's not sketchy. I swear. It's not sketchy. One of the things, like one of my fave fics that I'm reading right now has been updating regularly, and that's just amazing. Oh. I'm trying to get all of the Astro Cities on the same shelf, and so far it's not working because some of them were hard to get. So they're all different sizes, and so I just look at them and you just have one of those moments where you're like, they're not all the same size. This is not a problem in the slightest, but still. Hello, Maria. How have you all been keeping? Yeah, so speaking of shippers, I mean, you can expect some blue gold and Boostle over there. And also, I know that McReese has been pushing for Captain Marvel and Spider-Woman for quite some time, and you're probably going to see some of that too. So get excited for all of that. See, this is why I don't live stream with a purpose. I feel like I'm so much more awkward when there's actually a theme. I feel like I'm so much better when it's just completely random and off the wall. Let's see. What else do I have? Ooh, I have a comic here because we're talking about what I read all the time that lots of people don't like it. And there's reason, and I mean, they're not even necessarily wrong, but I really like how it's written, even though there's a ton wrong with it, and I don't like what it led to, and that's Identity Crisis. I read Identity Crisis a lot. If Identity Crisis was an Elseworlds solo story that you never had to think about again, then I feel like it would do so much better. But it's not. It's not. It has massive impacts on canon and just why. So much happens in this that's like why. But I do like the way that it's written, even if I don't like everything that happens. So yeah. I reread this one a lot. It's a hot mess, but sometimes you like a hot mess. No shame in the game. But all the things people say about it, oh, they're 100% true. They're not wrong, like at all. But I still enjoy reading it. I'm that person. Oh, again, you just got to read it like it didn't impact anything except that it did. And oh my God, the things it impacted. Why was it like this? Still, it's one of the first ones I ever bought, and I have a very soft spot for it. And I actually don't really mind Meltzer's novel writing so much, and I feel like he writes it like that, and I think that's probably a lot of what I like about it. But oh, what a mess! What a beautiful mess! God, Deathstroke taking out the entire Justice League. It's a mess. Let's see. What else do I have here? Oh, I was and still am doing the retrospective on Hush, which I actually do have. It was buried when I started it, so I couldn't hold it up to be like, it exists and it's real. This was, as I said in that video, this was the first like graphic novel that I ever bought. So I have a very, very soft spot for it. And it's still in really good condition. So I'm really pleased about that. It lives. It lives and it's still in good print. Let's see. Let me catch up with all of you. How do you feel about the new work? I know. I feel like every time they introduce a team, it's like it's the new because we have had so many news. I think that is a really hot mess and embarrassing and tone deaf and awful on so many levels. But so many other people have talked about it and roasted it and all the things they've said about it being insulting. Tokenism, no looking up etymology of words, just everything. I'm just like, yeah, hot mess, hot mess. Are there any comics you are waiting for after the quarantine ends? Well, there are a bunch that I hope finish. Like, I hope that a bunch of the Black Label stuff that I was reading finishes. I hope that the industry lives and that Disney and AT&T don't have to sell them for money with how badly things are going right now. Hello, little fox. So we shall see. I'm just happy for all the comics I do have. So what else do I have? Oh, down here I have the new Teen Titans. It might be the one that my daughter colored in. Is it? It's not. No, okay. I accidentally have duplicates of this one, and one of them she colored all over the first page. But whenever I can, I reread the new Teen Titans, and teen in quotes, because there's only a couple of teens on this team. But this is a really solid and interesting run. I love it. Did you finish Black Cat? I'm still reading Black Cat. Yeah, I do still keep up with Black Cat. I did enjoy that the one cover acknowledged that Wolverine is short. I'm always appreciating when people remember that. Is that water or is the bubble tea? Oh, you can't get bubble tea right now. There's no place to get bubble tea. Let's see. Down here, I also have. Okay, this is from the 2003 Batman Superman series, which is one of my just favorite series ever. I have all of it. It's absolutely all of it. This one is cute. Like, they're all different. Like, it started off with really long, big arcs, and then as it went on, the years, like, you got smaller and smaller stories. But this one was cute. They meet like their fifth dimension versions in one story, and then in another one, this is the one where they switch powers. And by that I mean that Bruce gets Superman's powers and Superman gets nothing. Superman gets some broken ribs. So that's nice. That's nice for him. It does have some great panels in it. Batman just cracks up in this. It's so good. Like, it's got some great panels in it. Oh, there's another one that I really like. Yeah, where it's just like him chilling upside down with laser eyes and bats. Like, he's not okay in this arc at all. Yeah, I hope you get good marks too. Like, those always take so much effort and research. This for me is just like a fun arc to revisit. I just like revisiting things that are either super fun or that I have really positive memories and associations with. Those are the ones that I kind of like to keep around. And the last one I have is with me for now. I have is this is Johnny the Homicidal Maniac. It's from Johann Vasquez, who did Invader Zim. And it is dark and strange and so much. It is there's nothing appropriate about Johnny the Homicidal Maniac. He is what he is. He is a serial killer. This is a comic about a serial killer, and it's a really dark comedy, and has all of that proto Invader Zim stuff in it that's really anti-consumerism, anti-society, anti a lot of stuff. And I'm obsessed with Johnny the Homicidal Maniac. I mean, like, one of the things is that he has to keep killing people because there's a wall in his house that he's painting red, and it's the only shade, but it keeps drying. So he has to keep getting new people so that he can maintain this wall color. Like, there's just a whole bunch going on in this book. Oh, thanks, Katie. I'm trying to find a more permanent one. Eventually, you all will be upstairs with me in the attic, which is going to have a beanbag chair, which is amazing. Oh. The only thing that's kind of hard for me now is that since having my daughter reading the Squee plot, because there's this little boy who lives next door to Johnny, and like nobody loves him. His parents don't pay attention to him or anything like that. And he ends up kind of being like a confidant for Johnny. And it's just really horrifying. And it's really hard for me to read now. Like, I thought it was so funny when I was younger. And now I'm just like, nobody loves Squee. I love Squee. So yeah, those are just a few of the things that I am reading for right now. Also, I couldn't carry all of them downstairs from the attic. Why doesn't it want to focus? Oh my gosh, stop. How is your family doing? Good. It's thankfully, knock wood and all that. It's been good. It's been, obviously, as I'm sure it has been for all of you, very, very different, but it's been pretty good. The hardest part is finding a way to keep my daughter occupied and interested and engaged and learning and all of those things. That's very important. So Oh no, Jay, like the mailing system right now is just it's crazy. Like don't expect things. I just don't expect things. Like there are things that I ordered and I'm just not going to expect them. And then if they show up, it'll be like a nice happy surprise. Maybe some of them will show up for my birthday. That would be nice. And then that's just how I'm looking at anything that I ordered like pre-COVID. I'm like, maybe it'll get here, or maybe it'll go to someone else who will enjoy it, and that would be all right too. So, oh, somebody also asked me on Instagram if I'd watched the Harley Quinn show, and I haven't, but I might start soon. Everybody's like, but you have Harley Quinn hair, and I'm like, I do, but not for that reason. I do, but that's not why. Oh, I'm looking forward to it's gonna get so crazy because it's gonna grow out and I'm not gonna be able to go do it. So we're gonna go through some interesting times together. So get excited for that. Yeah, people say it's good. I've only seen a clip of it here or there, but people say that they're really enjoying it. And instead, I watched Spider-Woman because a bunch of people were like, "You should rewatch like Spider-Woman and tell us what you think." So I did watch Spider-Woman because at first I was like, "How am I going to watch Spider-Woman?" And I was like, "Right, I have Disney Plus," and so I trolled through Disney Plus, found it, watched it. Have no regrets. I have no regrets about watching Spider-Woman. I'm thinking of doing like a retrospective of like each episode. I love that the first episode she fights alien mummies. It's everything. It's an ancient aliens episode. Oh. Mm. Did I read the new Spider-Woman? I haven't actually. No. It's funny because I saw the cover, saw that she was back in her old costume, and I was like, yeah, Spider-Woman. But I didn't it's $5, man. $5. Gotta pick and choose. You gotta allocate where these things go. Superman Red Sun, the comic, yes. The adaptation, no. Some of the voice acting in the adaptation hurt me. Do you have any new ships? Nothing new, but just revisiting mostly a bunch of old ones. I haven't really watched anything too shippable. Most of my stuff has been nature documentaries. My daughter's really into nature documentaries lately, so it's got monkeys in it or a jungle cat. Like that's where we're at. Do you remember Booster on Smallville? Yes, I do. I remember everything about Smallville. Smallville was my life. I actually was going to bring down my Smallville comics, and then I was like, "There's too much. I can't. I have a pile. It's enough." Plus, the cat was running around. We got cats. That's a new addition because I keep saying cat, but there is more than one. There are two. We got two Siamese cats, Alvin and Theodore, and they're great, but they're everywhere. So is that surprising though, Rachel? I mean, like I feel like I'm more surprised when I don't find stuff like that now. I feel like that's the true surprise. Mm. Thoughts on Young Justice season 3? It's okay. Not as good as the first two, but that tends to happen after a writing hiatus, I find. Like it was the same way I felt when Futurama came back. I was like, it's not the same. Like I still enjoy it, but not as much. Hmm. Well, White Raven, the litter they came from, their father was named Simon. So that's why they have those names. But it worked out because my daughter's name is Simone. So it kind of worked out anyway. So that's great. What's your preferred Spider Woman? Origin? Oh, like just for her or or like which one? What's the best Star Trek? Uh, everybody's gonna have different answers to that. For me, the answer is Deep Space Nine. So could have brought that comic downstairs too. I have Star Trek comics as well that because you got if it comes in a comic, I will also read it. I'm that person. I'm like the one person who wants to I'm keeping IDW alive by buying every tie-in comic. They're like, oh, did you want like an Adventure Time tie-in comic? Yup, send it my way. Just send it over here. Yeah, it's like knocks out comics. I find when like something takes a hiatus and comes back, either you've lost some of the creative staff, so it's not the same, or just people have changed and nothing stays the same. Oh, thanks, Tracy. Yeah, happy staycation. It's hardly a staycation though. I know a lot of people are still working. Do you think they will ever make another Starfire comic? I don't know. I mean, if they can make another Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen comic, then there's no reason not to make another Starfire comic. No reason at all. No, it's times like this that I'm so happy for, fandom, fans, the community, those kind of things. Like people like mainstream media mostly likes to say really horrible things about fandom, but that's only small pockets, and really it's just such a wonderful group of people who can make you feel so, accepted and together. And I love fandom. I would not be like where I am without fandom and these interests. So yeah, I will hear none of that. I will hear none of that. I do know that Goku and Sailor Moon is a popular ship on the internet. I remember seeing crossover fan art for that when I was a teenager and being like, I kind of actually I was like, I found my people. I understand. A new manga. Um Beastars. No, that's not new anymore. But I mean, I completely read all of Beastars. I caught up. I powered through all of the Beastars that there was. Oh, that one about a sommelier. That one I read too, where it was like wine god or something. I was like, manga's the one thing where if it's any premise, I will just be like, oh, he runs a furniture repair shop. I'm like, done, send it over. Oh, Mega Volcano, thank you. Why did you turn off your Patreon? Oh, I explained that on the stream over on Shippers because because of everything, not this everything, but the before everything with the pregnancy and all of that, I haven't been able to keep up with demand. So, I mean, it's not fair to have votes and stuff for things that I can't deliver upon. And I mean, with all the stuff, like they've been changing a lot of the features lately too. Like lots of the stuff that used to be included isn't, and they charge more fees like to the people, and they charge more fees to you, they charge more fees to the people. They were already kicking people off, and now they're kicking even more people off. And so I'm just like, I don't think I'll be reactivating it. Like, I don't really want to be part of a community like that. And then they did an ad campaign recently where they were all like, we want what's best for creators and da, 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 da. And I'm like, you kicked off like so many anime artists like recently and all this stuff. So yeah, that, and I'm still not in a position to keep up with demand anyway. So I'm like, I appreciate the support so much, and I'm so grateful. But if people are going to be supporting, then I want them to be like the support actually be going to what they think it's going to, and also to be able to keep up with the things that are being promised. So yeah, that's why I feel like that was really long-winded when it didn't need to be. Let me catch up. I've gotten into pro wrestling. God save me. Have you got? I know the pro wrestling ships are a trip. Any sports ships are a trip. Oh, I love crossovers. I recently did a crossover video on Top 10 Nerd, and that was so fun. The stranger the crossover, the more I'm here for it. It's like Dora the Explorer meets Batman. I'm like, yeah, she does. Take my money. I'm here for all of that randomness. I'm like, if you can make me believe this, then come on. Now let's do this. Let's put all of the effort into it. Athena Complex. I haven't read that. I recently got back into like Witchblade and Darkness and those kind of stuff as well. So Clive Barker, Adaptation Comics. I was listening to the Books of Blood because I've read the Books of Blood, and then sometimes you want to listen. Does anybody else do this where you've read a book but then you want to listen to the audiobook to see if there's a difference in the experience? I would read that Artemis. Batman, Dora becomes the next Robin. That'd be amazing. So I was listening to a couple, and then I stumbled upon the comic version of Rawhead Rex and Jack and the Yattering, and I really enjoyed them. And so I sought out more and more. Like Rawhead Rex, especially, I think is just an amazing comic book adaptation. And I'm trying to find a copy that I can keep on my shelf far away from my daughter. And they're all like $80. It's totally out of print. Like nobody has it. And I'm like, I will find it. I will find it. And I will have it. So, because horror comics are also like, they're a thing that I'm super into. You can do some really interesting visceral stuff with horror, sci-fi. I'm so sad that they got so crushed back before the Silver Age, because you can do some really interesting things with them, and people do. And I always appreciate it when they do that. When they do, oh my gosh. I keep staring at the back at like all the plants. I'm just like, there are plants back there. They're my plants. And I'm still looking at them like, whoa, plants. Oh. Crossover, I always wanted Batman and Death Note. I'd read that too. I would read that for all the melodrama. He takes a potato chip and eats it. Just that would be so fun. That'd be so fun. Oh, I finally found a spot for Elle upstairs, a spot where Elle can live on the he lives on a bookshelf now. Oh, thank you, White Raven. I have read Scooby-Doo Apocalypse. I also enjoy Scooby-Doo Apocalypse, but Scooby-Doo Apocalypse is one of those things that like people are like, it's weird, don't even bother with it. I'm like, I like it. You can do a lot of interesting twists on the Scooby Gang. Like I love the classic Scooby Gang, of course, but I'm like, you can do a whole bunch of weird stuff with it, and I'm still here. I enjoyed it. I really did. Any cool horror comic recommendations? If you can find Rawhead Rex, then do that to yourself. If you can handle really gory, gross stuff, because I know some people can't do gore at all, but I don't mind gore in the slightest. Like I will eat during gore. I have a friend who like if she sees any gore, she's like, and it's over. But like for me, I'm like, oh. No, I haven't, Artemis. Is it any good? Oh, yeah, I read the Marvel Zombies versus Army of Darkness crossover. I'm also here for Ash in any form. I'm really fond of the third one, and not everybody is fond of Army of Darkness. I'm like, but come on, shop smart, shop S-smart. I've heard of God's Child, but I haven't read it. I might pick it up. I'm always here for horror stuff. Ain't mad, you will not forget, you will not forgive. I still can't believe how many sequels deep we are into Marvel Zombies. Like that that went long. And oh, you can't do extreme body horror? I can. I don't know why I just had like some visceral flashbacks to like The Brood and stuff like that. The Brood, well, though the Brood isn't body horror until the very end. Like you're writing that whole movie until that payoff at the end where she opens up her spoilers, where she opens up her dress and she's got all of like the extra wounds on the outside of her body and stuff. It's a great shot, but you have to wait forever for it. Oh yeah, Deceased. I am going to talk about the Unkillables, which I did read, which introduced so many more questions about what happened in the main plot. Where it's like Slade was cured because he's Slade, and I'm like, of course he was, because depending on who's writing Slade, he's in God mode. Yeah, I saw that, Rachel. I really appreciated it. He left me a really nice comment. Stay up on Sage. Like it was Sajic. It was really nice. And his wife followed me, and that was really sweet. I'm really glad that he appreciated my review. I really loved his work, and like people are like, why didn't you continue it? And it's like I loved it so much. Like it was one of those things where it was just like there was so much to say. I was like, I'm just gonna gush about this forever. Also, that's one of the things I ordered. I'm waiting for it. Maybe one day it will appear in the mail. I ordered it with the special dust jacket and cover that he did that I thought were just absolutely beautiful. And it was funny because I realized that there was a piece of fan art that he had done that I had saved that I didn't know was by him, that I'd looked at for years. And it was an April Fool's prank of Hal Jordan giving Superman kryptonite. And I never knew that was him until recently. And I was like, oh my God, like I've secretly been following him for years. Nothing about Deathstroke's healing factor makes sense when you don't want it. What do you think of the Batman who laughs and his new Justice League who also laughs? I veering into overused territory for me personally. Like I love the design concept, solid, but I loved his Wonder Woman Laura Croft too. You see, saw my husband's foot cameo. He was like, I'll stay out of the shot, feet. Get your feet out of the shot. No one wants your feet. Oh. A high devious class. I have a soft spot for Hal Jordan, but the hot mess Hal Jordan of my head. So just catch up with the side thing. Now I'm like, I should have brought more down. I should have loaded my arms up and carried far, far more down. Hal and Wonder Woman. That's an interesting one. That's an interesting one. You know me, I'm all on that Bat Lantern train. And that's one of the fics I'm gonna wreck to all of you. Are they worth the read? I thought so. They introduce and deal with some of the characters they couldn't on the show, like Batman, and that's really interesting to see. I mean, it doesn't have the chemistry of the show because it's a medium shift, but I think they're pretty decent and they hold up their continuity and their lore very well. I think they're definitely some of the better continuation comics because I've read some where I'm like, I'm just reading this because I really liked the original, not because this is like a really great, like this is the continuation we all needed. I haven't read much of Alan unless he's in the JSA. Like like most of the Golden Age characters, like I've read through the JSA or later stuff. haven't seen a CW like show in so long. Yeah, if you look up at Lantern now, my video pops up. I'm like, yes, I made it. It's like I made it. I'm on the search page. I'm in the Google search. Also, it's funny. This channel, Casually Comics, pops up if you type in Sasha Comics. I learned, and I'm like, I'll take it. Like I'll take that. I will 100% take it. It's hard to get this channel on the map because comic stuff isn't recommended too much on YouTube until you build up a following, because talking about it's viewed as like problematic in some circles. So yeah. Oh, Buffy can cross over with anything. Like if you can think it, there's a Buffy crossover somewhere for it. I was putting the comics on the shelf upstairs. I'll take a pic, I think, and show you guys. And Buffy was too big. She couldn't fit on the shelf, so she had to sit on top because those comics they're so tall. They're such a tall shape. I know, it'll show up when it shows up. Is Justice League of America good? Which one? There are a couple. Like Justice League International even changes its name to Justice League America at one point. Like I think it's like issue 26. Sasha Comics. I know, right? Why didn't I just go with that name? Oh, I've read some Buffy and Blade crossovers. I'm like, Buffy and Blade would be a pretty cool team up. Although I always had a soft spot for Kendra, the Vampire Slayer, and then she like died right away, and I was like, no, Kendra, the Vampire Slayer. That's true. Doctor Who can also cross over with anything. It's just by the nature of how that show works. You can cross over with anything. I was reading JLA Classified the other day, and I was like, I don't know how I feel about any of this. I have no idea. I haven't seen Stargirl. Is it actually out and playing yet? Because I was gonna watch it. Kendra was great. I needed more Kendra. Not until May. Well, I mean, it's not like I'm doing anything else at home. So actually, that's not true. I'm doing tons of stuff at home. What are you guys doing? Are you guys at home? Are you still working? Like what's the stitch for all of you? I watched Kim Possible, and now it's a thing. What's the stitch, guys? Text me, tweet me if you want to reach me. Kim Possible for life. Did I see Sonic? No, I haven't seen Sonic, but all my friends who saw it said that it was fun for kids and they enjoyed it. And I'm like, okay, I can get behind that. I can get behind that 100%. Have you decided which obscure character to focus on next? No, I don't. I'm just kind of going with whatever I'm reading promo at the moment, honestly. I'm just like whatever I'm that's kind of what this channel is. Like it's not about following, trends and those kind of stuff unless I feel like it and I want to talk about it. But for the most part, it's really just whatever I'm doing. I'm like, I'm reading this. Maybe the people would also like to hear about this or haven't heard about it and would appreciate it. That's the mantra that I'm working on. Online can be difficult. Like online's like really hit or miss in terms of schooling. Like some people really love it and some people like can't do it. It really depends. Oh, yay, I'm glad. I just love when my favorite comments are when somebody is like, I checked this out and, I liked it. Or even I hated it. Just like I checked it out. I'm like, yeah, someone checked it out. Yes. there are a bunch of games that I want. Like I really want to get Persona 5 Battle Royale, but $80. $80. There are other things. I need to pay people to come and get this mattress. And we have to do it like a drive-by mattress drop-off. So like we're gonna like roll it out to the front. They're gonna pick it up. We're gonna wave at each other from an appropriate distance, and then the mattress will be gone. So oh, thank you, Mega Volcano. I love Christy Carlson Romano's cooking channel. I love it. The Kim Possible cooking channel. Her and Will Friedel, whose last name I can never pronounce, aka Ron, made the Nako, and it was like the best episode of life. Oh, yay. I hope you're enjoying Astro City, Larry. It's definitely one of my favorite comic book series of all time. I don't know. One of my friends absolutely roasts me. He's like, more like Boring City. And I'm like, you know what? It's a good thing we're friends, guys. Why are you like this? Oh. Mattress fan. Yeah, exactly. Mattress cam. I haven't played the Final Fantasy VII remake. I want to. I never played the first one though. Like there are some people who are like, it's really good, but it's the same. Some people are like, no, it's too different. I'm like, I don't know. I never played the first one. I didn't have the console at all. Like I had a choice. My parents like, what do you want? And I got a PC. So that was the choice. Oh yeah, no, like she has a channel like where she like cooks things in their kitchen and it's super super wholesome. I'm like I'm here for this wholesome content. Like there are really fun YouTube channels out there that will just make you feel uplifted. I'm here for all of those. Will you be checking out Marvels? I actually read the first issue of Marvels. It didn't click with me like Astro City did. Oh, I really liked the Resident Evil 2 remake. But I'm like, again, $80 for 3. All of these things are expensive. They're real expensive. And it's my daughter's birthday coming soon, so we're ordering stuff super early. So hopefully it gets here in time, and we can still throw her a little mini B-Day party. So oh yeah, that was one of the things because I see you say like I was surprised Ron was Terry. I was gonna do one of the Batman Beyond comics recently. I was like Batman Beyond because I also collected that because I collect everything. Oh, thanks. I'll pass on the sentiment. I agree. Wholesome is needed. Family friendly. I remember when I first learned that Black Widow and Daredevil were like a huge thing. So I was like, oh, I need to know more. And then I looked, it was a hot mess, and I'm like, well, now I've got to read all of this. Do you like to buy omnibus collections or do you just like regular volumes? I like omnibuses because I like having everything because I find when I get volumes I tend to miss stuff or fall off and then it goes out of print and I'm just there like on eBay or wherever scouring like please for less than $50 please. What's your least favorite popular comic? Oh, I was about to be like that's really hard. And I was like, no, it's not. Grant Morrison's new X-Men run, all of it. There we go. People love it, and I have the omnibus. I always tell this story. I have the omnibus, and I just stare at it, and I'm like, why can't I love you? Like I just said that like it was a relationship. Like, why can't I love you? I can't. None of it. And I've read it more than once. That's the thing. Like I do that to myself. I will read it over and over again. And I'm just like, no, none of it. It's not just that Zorn was Magneto, but he wasn't. And and the psychic affair and Cat Beast and just everything. Absolutely everything. Oh. But there's a bunch of okay. Another one. The Return of Bruce Wayne. Also by Grant Morrison. I like some of the stuff he's done, I swear. Just not the really popular stuff. Not the popular stuff. So RIP. Yeah, Batman RIP. Not here for that. Like, no. Oh. Yeah, no, the Shonen Jump app is really great. It's really good. What about you? Tell me. I hope his acolytes don't hunt you down. Oh yeah, no, you can't say anything. You can't say anything bad or like you don't understand. You just don't get it. Like, why can't you appreciate this genius? But the way I always say it is I'm like, listen, if you took the author's name away and I just rolled up to you and I was like, I'm gonna do this. If you would laugh me out of the office, it's not a good idea. It doesn't become a good idea just because somebody else did it. Because some of the stuff, you should hear some of the stuff that wasn't allowed to happen in New X-Men. Like Ghost Gambit, he was going to die and become a ghost. And I was on Reddit and there was this whole thread that were like, why wouldn't they let him do Ghost Gambit? Everything he does is amazing. We should have had Ghost Gambit. And wasn't somebody going to be shrunk down and become a teenager? That was also going to be a thing. And this whole thread was like, all of this would have been amazing. And I'm like, would it though? Would it though? But then it's like, no, you just don't understand. You can't possibly grasp the depth. I'm like, okay, fine. I'll go take my depthlessness somewhere else. Oh, we're good. How are you, Mohammed? Oh, don't go on that Reddit thread then, knocks out, because they're, don't try to talk about Grant Morrison on Reddit. Oh yeah, Final Crisis. I don't like Final Crisis either. Oh God, I sound like a hater. I'm not. There are a bunch of things I really like Animal Man. Oh, Return of Bruce Wayne, and there's a Booster Gold tie-in comic, Time Masters. I think it's Time Masters that ties in directly with the Return, where everybody's just so mean to Booster the entire time. Oh, so. Because I talked about the Booster Rip Hunter connection. That's one like such an interesting retcon because Rip Hunter was around for so long, and then they tied him to Booster, and then like Booster was his dad. So he's doing another Cable thing where he's like hanging out with his son, time traveling with him, and I'm like, I'm here for this. Oh, I like Dick and Damien a lot. Like the Dick and Damien stuff is really cool. But I mean, depends on your Damien. Damien's a lot better now. I couldn't stand Damien at the start, but like now I find he's a lot better written. Oh, in the thumb, I put a picture of Batman reading the latest Super Sons, the one where him and Damien are brunette, and I just kind of love he look on his face. It's just like, what? Even he looks like, why? Why are we brunette? I don't understand. What do you think of young Cable? Bring back old Cable. I want old man Cable. I'll accept only one Cable and he's old. I don't need teenage Cable. I didn't need teenage any of them though. Like when they all came back and they were teens, like they brought the young selves to meet the new selves. And it's better than saying Rick and Damien Harley. Thank God that's over. Yeah, I know, right? Silver Fox Cable. Daddy Cable. Truth. But did you enjoy Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe? I actually did. I mean, for all of those, you have to suspend your level of disbelief. Rick is over. We're free. Quinn, we're free. The nightmare is over. Issue 72. he's getting it all back, and it's like he's recovering, and like I saw like some of the solicitations for like a few months, and it was like Dick Grayson. I was like, thank God I can read Nightwing again. No, like legit. I no, Cable is a silver fox. But like I legit stopped for most of the Rick Grayson arc. Like I would pop back in here and there, but that panel I like the show of him with the pool cue with his hair all cut talking to Barbara, and he's like, if it makes you uncomfortable, this is my life. And I was like, I'm not reading this. Don't make me go hunting for Cable. I mean, it's not much of a hunt. There is some, I can rec you some Cable Pool. I always have some saved Cable Pool fix on file because Cable Pool is life. I cancel Nightwing a few issues in of Rick. And the worst part about Rick is then it just like separated him entirely from the rest of the canon, and stuff would be happening, and they'd just be like, Rick. Even we don't want Rick. Oh. Kyle, there's so little love out there for Kyle. Like everybody else, I feel like has like this massive defense squad, and it's like, oh yeah, and then there's Kyle. I'm like, oh poor Kyle. And Kyle had such a long run too. Did you get to watch The Witcher? Did I toss a coin to The Witcher? I still did not. I still did not. I still have not tossed a coin to The Witcher. Kyle needs some love. Kyle does need some love. There are actually a couple of issues that I was going to talk about eventually. Werewolf by Night is an interesting experience. It really is. They're also so there are like Spider-Woman crossovers with Werewolf by Night. Like Werewolf by Night will just show up places. Like I didn't highlight it enough in the episode I did with Cap Wolf, but like yeah, he was there too. And I was like, Werewolf by Night, hello. Let me see. He needs more focus. That could be taken many ways. Like, why can't he just get his stuff together? Teen series are so hit or miss for me, White Raven. Like they're so hit or miss. I find myself cringing more often than not. As someone years later will watch this and cringe at the use of the word cringe. So are you excited for the new season of Umbrella Academy? It depends on how it's done. The Umbrella Academy is like an interesting adaptation case where a lot has changed, but I think the changes are strong. Same with the boys. I love the comics in their original form as well, but I think the changes brought to the adaptation really elevates, not the word, but they give them an extra boost in the new mediums that they're in. And I think that's good because then it gives you a reason to both read and watch them, which isn't something you have with all adaptations. How is Onward? Katie, tell me. I want to know. I saw that they released it and I'm like, do I have time for Onward? Is Onward something that I want to give time to? Well, let me know in the comments below. Girl, it's good. Okay, so I've heard, okay, you're not the only people who have said that Onward should be watched. Did you watch Tiger King? I did watch Tiger King. That was something that all of my friends messaged me and they're like, you need to be watching Tiger King. And I was like, I like to be up on cultural events. I will watch the Tiger King. I'm definitely glad I did because I was entertained. That was That was high quality content. They are, Callista. That they are. There were a lot of plans for Jason for a while. The plan, like one of the plans was that he was going to be Nightwing, but like a homicidal Nightwing. That's why you have that arc where he is Nightwing, but Dick's also Nightwing, and then Jason's killing people with a knife, and then they get out of it by him turning into a tentacle monster. Nobody likes to think about that arc because it ends with him as a tentacle monster. So this is a real arc. I reread it like months ago when I first started the channel, and I was like, I should talk about Tentacle Jason. I was like, I don't want to scare the people away with Tentacle Monster Jason. So let me not do that right at the start. Let's build up to when he became an octopus monster. Because that was a thing that happened. Nobody remembers it. Why does no one remember this? Oh. Give it to us. Are you excited? I don't know. I tend not to get hype for events like ever. And so when it happens, I'm really surprised. I'm like, is that excitement? Am I feeling an emotion? I do remember when the New 52 was testing Jason and Barbara. I do remember that. I remember that a lot. What are you doing over there? Do you think there should be more books like Harleen? I'm really enjoying a lot of the Black Label stuff right now. Like, I'm really enjoying it. White Raven, I'm not even paying attention to what's going on the other side of the room. There is no other side of the room. The room ends with that door. And that's just how it's going to be from now on. Do you remember Convergence? I own all of Convergence. So I own every single episode, every single book of Convergence. Well, one of them's out. Like there was one already released for the Wonder Woman. That's right, Janet. There are 5 lanes. You listen to your Cardassian interrogators. 5. I'm so glad that someone could make a joke like that. And we are a nerdy crew here. And it fills me with joy and happiness. No, I don't. I don't remember that crossover. Does anybody else remember Barbara and Ted Cord? That was a thing that happened for a while. I remember that. I didn't hate it, actually. I have read the New 52 Harley Quinn. I have 2 issues. I think that says all that needs to be said. About that. I miss Roy. I also miss Roy. I miss when Roy had like character development and not just a hat. When he was more than a hat that was either forwards or backwards. I'll read anything Green Lantern. I don't know how that happened. I don't know what happened to me, but all of a sudden, like a couple years ago, I was like, Green Lantern? Oh, Boostle for life. Booster Gold and Blue Beetle is the sweetest thing ever. Whether you're shipping it or just reading their friendship, it is just the sweetest. It just makes me so happy in all forms. It's joy. It's friendship joy printed on a page. I miss when DC and Marvel crossed over like casually. I mean, it wasn't casual to make it happen, but they used to do it like with some degree of frequency. Their relationship was not always so fraught. Like When you have Batman meeting the Hulk and stuff like that, there were so many of those. There's a decent amount. I loved Huntress and the Question on the Justice League. They were so cute. They were so cute. I'm so into relationships in comics, like not just like shipping them outside of, but just in them. I'm like, I care. I care deeply. Like there are people who are like, who cares? I'm like, me. I care. I have these questions. I'm that person asking these questions. And people are like, why? And I'm like, why not? Why do you want to know how big the Batcave is? I want to know who's dating. Don't judge me. Let me live my life. What do you think about the Batcat pregnancy? To that I say again, because it already happened. I don't know why I keep snapping today. I'm very snappy. I mean, pregnancy in comics, though, it's always hit or miss. It is hit or miss. The salt is here. Well, it is hit or miss. Like everybody's pregnancy is so different and stuff, and I always find depictions of them so frustrating. Especially the labor. The labor is always really frustrating in the way that it's depicted. Labor story. So for my labor, I have a really high pain threshold, and my labor was very short, and so I didn't scream or cry. And so it was to the point where my water had broken. I guess never miss, huh? I see you. And they weren't taking me seriously. And so I had to walk back to the room by myself. I sat there by myself. No one came to check on me for a few minutes because I wasn't screaming and carrying on like in a movie. And when the nurse finally came to check on me, the baby had crowned and she was born 15 minutes later. So I almost had a baby alone in a room because I didn't act like a character on TV. So I have lots of strong feelings about depictions of things. Yeah, lots of strong feelings. I'm out of focus now because the camera's like, that was too much. That was too much story. Oh, they were like, that was too real. No one needed that. No, it was like my husband nearly missed it. Like, because of that, they were like, oh, they actually didn't want to admit me. They were like, oh no, you're fine. Like, come back in 24 hours. Like, you're 100% fine. They told him he could go and like walk around and stuff like that. He nearly missed it. He came back and it was happening. So thankfully he didn't. Oh. What happened to Spider-Woman's baby? What happened to Jerry? I'm still waiting for the Jerry is the father of that baby plot. Fables is pretty decent. No, everybody has a story. I'm trying to remember if they have Rachel. I'm not sure. I'm trying to remember. It's true, Callista. They're all different. And that's the thing, is that like there's like this is the one way. And I'm like, no, there are so many ways. There are so many ways. I'd read that. Some characters just end up falling through the cracks, you know? That it happens over time. Like sometimes it's just, sometimes it's not even a thing. Like it's just things change, you know? My mom cursed the doctors. I don't remember it, but my husband tells me that I swore like a trucker, like a possessed person, like it was like The Exorcist, but I do not remember that. Like during the 15 minutes, apparently like I swore a lot, but I do not remember any of that. So again, like it didn't hurt. It was just difficult. It was a lot of effort. They say TMI. They say that their there's a burning. And I'm like, yeah, there's a burning. Like there wasn't pain for me, thankfully, but there was burning. Burning is real. The burn is real. Feel the burn. No burn, no gain. Doesn't rhyme. So have you read Far Sector? I've read part of the first issue and I haven't finished it yet. Not because of any reason. Like it's just that happens to me sometimes. Calista. I actually have never watched Detective Conan Case Closed. I haven't, and it's everywhere. It's one of those things that it's everywhere, and I haven't seen it. So let's see. No, one day I'll do a review of the Spider-Woman pregnant arc. I feel like I would be warmer to that arc if all of the reviews weren't like, this is the perfect, amazing take, and I'm like, you can't tell me how to feel. So I feel like, I don't know, does anybody else have that reaction? Like, you're always worried. Like, I'm always worried when I see reviews where everybody hates something or everybody loves something. I'm like, I'm going to be that person who feels the opposite way. No. Yeah, I was not here for the fighting when pregnant. They're like, she had a magic special protection suit. And I'm just like, even if, okay, no matter how good you feel, you're not 100%. Like your energy it's going out. Like the idea that you could nonsense. You can do a lot of things. You can do a lot more than some people think you can do, but that was nonsense. I know a lot of people love it, and they're like, it was so empowering to see, like, go get them, pregnant ladies. And I'm like, I would like it to be acknowledged that some days you feel like you just want to lay on a couch and eat Pop-Tarts, and that's okay too. Don't, even though you shouldn't, because then you'll feel really crappy after. I don't know that. Protection suit. No, it was like, who gave it to her? I'm trying to remember. Somebody gave it to her. It was like, oh, her jacket like protects her with a force field. Magic jacket. Do you watch anime? I watch so much anime. I do watch a lot of anime. Yeah, I've just accepted like White Raven. I'm like, I like what I like and I don't like what I don't like. That's why I can get on here and hold up something like this and just be like, deal. Because I'm like, we all feel the way we feel about things for whatever reason, you know? Anyway, I just realized it's been over an hour. It's 10:35 p.m. So that means that there's still housework and stuff to do, believe it or not. So I just want to touch base with you guys. And if you enjoy like quarantine hangouts and these kind of things, let me know and we can make them a more semi-regular thing. I hope this wasn't too awkward. I felt awkward. I don't know why, but I hope it wasn't too awkward. Maybe we can make this more semi-regular. Fic Fic Friday next week and a bunch of other things. And then we'll keep catching up on both channels, and it's gonna be good. So enjoy the rest of your day, night, evening, stay safe, and I will see you all when I see you. All right. Okay. Bye.